Hello, I am Daniela LUTA and I want to present you our paper about objectives and aspiration of the educational system in Romania. The starting point of this article is the concept of educated Romania, which was developed by the presidential administration. This concept is based on a strategic program to increase the quality of the Romanian education system at all levels. In this context, the article presents certain expected objectives specific to the Romanian educational system, such as permanent internet connection, the increased dynamics of the profession, population decline and aging, increased urbanization of the population around dynamic cities, and increase in the diversity of family, the emergence of the new approach to participatory democracy, increasing ethno-cultural diversity, advanced urbanization, increasing the share of service in the economy. Romania should face the challenge of the modern world, a global, competitive and technological world in which innovation and technological evolution are taking place at an increasing fast pace, a world in which the capacity to adapt quickly of both individuals as well as the society as a whole in what makes the difference. If there is a decisive break in economic trend, Romania 2030 will be a developed country integrated into the common market of the European Union. In order to be competitive on the global market, the Romanian economy will need greater labor productivity, better training of specialists, and greater adaptability to dynamic macroeconomic trends. In this context, imagining its challenge for the present society, the projection of the future has a special importance. The 15 transformations included in the online consultation and expected for Romania by 2030 are permanent internet connection, increased dynamics of profession, decrease in aging population, increased urbanization of the population that is more and more numerous around dynamic cities, increased diversity of family, emerging new approach to participatory democracy, a citizen, for example, increasing ethno-cultural diversity, advanced robotics, increasing the share of service in the economy, deepening social inequality, increasing the impact of climate change, repolarization of the world which become polycentric, development of virtual reality, increasing the incidence of disease caused by stress, increasing global competition for talent. Out of this, the almost 8,000 participants in the online consultation conducted within the project indicated three main challenges that education must be met by 2030: increased dynamics of profession, decrease in aging population, and permanent internet connection. Romania, with many systemic problems in the field of education, the poor results in national and international tests, low participation rate in higher education, high rate of functional illiteracy, is all the more obliged to engage in a profound reform based on a coherent vision and focused both on solving existing problems and anticipating the needs of a society in the process of transformation. The whole education process encourages both students and teachers' reflection and learning as a value practice throughout life. Education begins as early as possible in a child's life and continues throughout his life. In the context of demographic decline, along with the aging population, we must motivate and help each children in their efforts to maximize their potential. Investing in early education is essential for the harmonious development of each person's personality, for his educational success, fulfillment of and social integration. It becomes all the more important for children for disadvantaged backgrounds or poor communities for lack alternatives for personal development. This is the reason why the opportunity to enroll children in an early form of education for both preschool and preschool levels are essential in the long-term sustainable development of communities. At the same time, children and young people need to be supported in order to complete upper secondary education, either to follow a tertiary education pathway on the to obtain a qualification for their further integration into the labor market and society. An inclusive quality approach to the whole education path is essential and can be facilitated by removing barriers to access and participation for disadvantaged children. In order to reduce early school leaving, measures are needed to identify risk situations in advance as well as flexible tools to correct them. In order to achieve this decision, an adequate and sufficient infrastructure shall be provided, which shall comply with at least a minimum set of standards, which include not only the characteristic of the interior space, but also of the exterior space, facilities, staff. A coherent curriculum design in logical succession from preschool to university, as well as an appropriate one to the diverse profile of children and the specific stage of their development should be devised for the entire education system. It is essential to ensure that the teaching staff was trained so that they can apply this curriculum in different communities and situations in order to respond adequately to a great diversity of pupils or students which their own profiles, needs and aspirations. Teachers are mentors and facilitators, true professionals in education. The society recognizes the role and importance of teachers in the training of future citizens. Every pupil or student matters, regardless of age, socio-economic backgrounds, special needs or religion, ethnicity, political choice, sexual orientation, and everyone's education is essential for Romania's future. To succeed in it, there must be a sufficient degree of institutional autonomy in the management of resources in keeping with the needs of the beneficiaries of the type of community served, but based on the minimum quality standards and guaranteeing personalized and flexible education pathways. Furthermore, there are national support programs for pupils and students from disadvantaged backgrounds, and schools that serve predominantly poor communities have access to additional resources, including the employment of support staff and community-involved activity in school life. Youngsters can opt for flexible paths in education. They benefit from the opportunity to choose some of the subjects, extracurricular activities, and other useful complementary forms of education. After receiving counseling, they have the opportunity to opt for a vocational, professional, or theoretical pathways depending on the field to which they are inclined, without suffering from non-academic barriers in accessing a higher education or another pathway. Each and every education path they can follow, according to their choice, will be clearly explained, as well as the benefits and cost of each option. Thus, educational pathways are flexible and ensure the maximization of individual potential, whereas counseling provides the necessary framework for making informed decisions about their future. Active and functional mechanisms are established for the anticipatory understanding of the need for labor as a structure, skills and abilities required by the technological and social dynamics, as well as the need for initial and continuous training. The adoption and application of strategic objectives in the field have a very important role in boosting the quality of any educational system. As in any strategic process, the stage of writing strategic objectives is decisive for the success of the strategic program. In order to maximize the flexibility of the system, pupils and students benefit from the possibility of accessing the knowledge acquired outside the formal education system. The evaluation of effective learning focus on a logic of the factor development of skills and competence rather than on one of the duration of formal participation. The Romanian education system is attractive for academic communities in Romania and around the world due to the facilitating and increased intensity of international mobility. Thank you for attention.